When Field Marshal Idi Amin was kicked out of power and declared a rebel by his successor, Professor Yusuf Ulule, in 1979, there was a collective sigh of relief. This is because Amin had managed to unify all Ugandans in pain and disappointment. New Vision TV highlights 8 of Amin's biggest sins in the 8 years that he ruled Uganda. 1971, the year Idi Amin took power, saw the extensive killing of men and officers of the Uganda army of Acholi and Langi ethnicity. Because the two tribes dominated the army at the time of the coup and Amin was still immensely popular in most of the country, the killings were not highlighted. But all the same, large-scale extrajudicial killings had started. In August 1972, Amin declared the disastrous economic war by giving all persons of Asian origin, who then made up 1% of Uganda's population, 90 days to leave Uganda. It was the first ethnic cleansing independent Uganda witnessed, and it led to the collapse of the economy and unprecedented inflation. In 1973, the killing of prominent people by the regime intensified. Being wealthy or highly educated became a crime punishable by murder. In 1974, killing of any army officers likely to challenge the entrenchment of a dictatorship was carried out. In 1975, Amin staged the Summit of the Organization of African Unity, the most extravagantly wasteful show of money by a poor country. Hundreds of limousines and a fleet of powerful outrider police bikes were imported into a country already awash with sloganeering billboards. Schools along Entebbe Road were conscripted into lining the roads to welcome heads of state after undergoing weeks of training in how to clap. Air Force jets staged a mock bombing of South Africa's Cape Town at Gaba, and all of them repeatedly missed the targeted island. To crown it all, Amin staged a second marriage ceremony with his wife Sarah, thus probably setting a world record of a wedding attended by the biggest number of heads of state, about 50 in all. Besides constantly provoking Tanzania, in 1976, President Idi Amin made remarks about Uganda's eastern border that provoked harsh reaction from Kenya. The Nairobi government sealed off the border, blocking Uganda's supplies of fuel and other things. Amin staged a bicycle ride carrying a bespectacled minister as passenger to go and meet a guest at the airport. The same year, Amin's frolicking with terrorists who hijacked an Air France plane and brought the hostages when terror caused the famous Israeli commando rescue, during which the country's costly fleet of supersonic jet fighters was wiped out on the ground. In February 1977, the military government reached the climax of its murderous record when they killed the Archbishop Janan Luhum, Uganda's first Inspector General of Police Elinayo Wilson Oryema, and a host other dignitaries. Amin tried to force his way into the Commonwealth meeting held in Britain that year, but was firmly blocked by the hosts and on return conducted a bloody purge in the Air Force. On Independence Day, 9th October 1978, Amin boldly attacked Kagera region in northern Tanzania. His army subsequently killed thousands of Tanzanians and plundered everything movable, including immovable assets like house roofs. He then bombed Kagera Bridge, declaring River Kagera the new border and Kagera Province a new district of Uganda. Tanzania responded by mobilizing for war, finally bringing Amin's government to its last day on April 11th, 1979. Ugandans welcomed the fall of Amin with the hope that the country would never fall into the hands of another demagogue. In our next episode of Uganda's unifying events, the 1995 Constitution.